Iain, thanks for joining us ahead of this weekend's match. But to begin with, if we could look back at the Hibs game, just overall, what was the most pleasing part from the performance on Saturday?
Yeah, it was a good occasion for all involved. Obviously, from our point of view, I think it gave the players a sort of taste of what we can, or what we're trying to get to, or the level we're trying to get to. And again, from a performance point of view, I thought we competed really well throughout the game. Limited them. I thought the organisation and the guys really kept the concentration there and limited them to a couple of chances. I know they had the one-on-one early on and then header at the end, and then after that I don't really remember too much going on. There was a bit of pressure, but then again we had a couple of chances ourselves, so it was pretty even. And then towards the end you get a little bit of luck that I think the performance deserved in the end. So yeah, great, gave the lads confidence, the levels that they can get to. But we move on quickly because we've got another big game coming up on Saturday. So the focus switched quickly from the Hibs game to St Johnstone, Monday morning.
Prior to the Hibs game, we hadn't played since the 27th of December, so a couple of weeks in between matches. To go toe-to-toe with a Scottish Premiership side and actually end the game the strongest out of the two and find a way to get that winning goal, is that a really satisfying aspect as well, that yourself, the management team, had mentioned in the summer about robustness? Was that a part of it?
Yeah, I think from a physical point of view, there has been a big break, and you can say, well, okay, you might be a little bit rusty, maybe take you 10 or 15 minutes to get you find the players find their legs again, or you can say you've had a good rest. So you don't really know until you get going. Obviously, we've worked the players quite hard in between, or we did work the players quite hard in between. So you never quite know what you're getting. But yeah, I thought physically, the starting 11, they really did go sort of toe to toe. Up until the last part of the game. Obviously you had to make some changes because they put so much into it. Thought they came into it a little bit towards the last sort of 10, more than they had done, 10-15 minutes to go. But yeah, like I say, it gives the guys confidence of the levels that they can perform at, and where we want to end up.
And just to end the Scottish Cup chat for now, that the draw's been made, another home tie and against lower league opposition in Kelty.
Yeah, people say who do you want next or whatever. You first and foremost think you want a home game. Everyone's too experienced and too knowledgeable to understand that you don't take any game lightly. So we're pleased that we're at home. And hopefully we can perform well again.
St Johnstone this Saturday, we've given them two tough games already this campaign, and looking to go to Perth and put in a good performance once again. Yeah,
again. Those, they've been two great games, I think, I would imagine, for the neutral. I think we were on the wrong end of the result in the first game that we played against them. Thought we, after a bit of a shaky start, we sort of adjusted a bit. Obviously went in 1-0, did great. And for long periods, limited them. There was a couple of bad goals we felt we let in, but then, towards the end we were unlucky not to snatch it. And then here again, same thing. I suppose we went up again. Again, we weren't that pleased with the goals we conceded, but kept going, kept driving forward, and I think got a deserved equaliser. So they're a good team. They've got a good squad. The table doesn't lie. We know it's going to be a tough game, but I think if we perform to the levels that we've shown that we can, I think we can certainly provide a big test.
In terms of squad news, how are we looking ahead of this weekend's match?
Yeah, apart from John, Todd, with almost full complement. There's a couple of little things here and there that we'll wait till tomorrow to sort of see how they clear up. But other than that, we're almost back to full squad strength really. So that's pleasing, and that's credit to the guys for working hard through these through those period of times and getting back ready.
Of course, just ahead of the Hibs game, Callum Morrison was signed. How pleasing is it from the management point of view that the club were able to support you in bringing in a player that was proven at this level, that's at a good age, but still has a lot to give to this football club over the 2.5 years that it's been given on his contract? A real statement signing at this time of the campaign.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, the support from the clubs, has been terrific. Callum was identified as someone that could, really good age, but good experience, who could really contribute for us and make an impact. And I think you could see, his little cameo. He played on Tuesday night over in Ireland, and then he had no reservations whatsoever. He flew over Friday, met the team, stayed in the hotel, and then he was raring to go. So I think you saw a little glimpse of what he can provide. And his career so far will point towards that. He's lively, he can contribute with goals and assists. So yeah, it's a good signing for us, and I think he can really help us push forward.
And one out this week as well, with Taylor Sutherland leaving permanently to join Montrose. Just your overall thoughts on that deal being concluded, please.
Yeah, great kid, worked really hard. Local one and a good footballer. It's just you get to the stage sometimes with the younger players where you want to help them go and get a career and forge a career. And I think he got to that stage where he'd been out on loan, he'd done quite well, and then the opportunity had come for him to really go and really knuckle in and try and create a career for himself away from here. Like I say, great guy. Wish him all the best, everyone, and we'll be keeping our eye on him from afar.
How much did you enjoy the atmosphere inside the home end on Saturday, seeing it nearly packed full, and is the challenge now to try and replicate that as much as possible going forward?
Hopefully, yeah. Like I say, we've the support's always really good, but when the stadium's packed, it's great for the players, great for the staff, great for everyone. That the crowd generate that atmosphere, and they play their part, and you scoring a 93rd minute winner without a shadow of a doubt.